Welcome to Shakana Toy Reviews. And what are we reviewing, Mr. Berg? These are your toys.
Well, before you throw away a box, we're reviewing those guys. Spoilers. I think that's Globulus.
Oh,
Okay.
I didn't notice.
Anybody? Anyone? No?
Comments?
We're reviewing the new G.I. Joe Classified Storm Shadow and Cobra Officer. And one more time, before we throw away the box, I just want to point out, I'm pretty sure that's Raphael Grandpa. Storm Shadow artwork on the box.
Looks like.
Yeah.
Or a very good likeness of. That's fucking awesome. Now, to be clear, this is not Cobra Soldier. This is Cobra Officer. And I couldn't find Cobra Soldier to show you how different they are. They're actually, I thought they'd just be repaint, but he's actually tons of new molded pieces.
Because I was going to ask, didn't they release this guy previously?
That was just a Cobra Trooper.
This is
an officer.
Gotcha.
He has the silver accents to show that he is the officer, much like the original officer had silver and the original trooper had red, I think.
I'm skipping ahead, but he also has silver buckles.
He does.
It's a nice touch.
He also has gray paint apps. Like he's got two little things there, the Cobra logo there. The inside of his web gear is painted gray.
It's a blue pin, though.
Blue pin.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Otherwise, I think it looks great.
But a lot of it is new sculpted pieces that if I had the other one, I could show you the differences, but
I will try to find a promo pic of the two together so we can show off some differences.
Anyway, as with all Cobra Classified, he's got tons of details all over the place. He actually, as we just pointed out, has paint apps for once. Like even this little pouch is picked out.
Yeah.
And as we will find out, he has some other surprises.
Oh.
But he's got the typical G.I. Joe Hasbro Classified articulation. He is not loose. All his joints work really well. The range of motion is great. I'm very happy. He's not as good as the Valaverse, but he's one of the better classified guys so far. Spoilers.
He is immediately impressive looking.
Yeah, everything's done really well.
And then the more you look, you see stuff like the silver rim around the neck.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's nice.
And yeah, you point out the buckles on his shoes, But yeah, this is your officer, and I will point out one thing I know for sure is he's got a super tan going on. So whatever he's doing on the weekend before he puts that ski mask on, good for him, man. I hope
There's an intensity in those eyes.
He's the guy who's like, oh, you guys suck. It's getting gear. But yeah, he is very officer material. I think he's great.
Does he have any articulation that's not standard for the G.I. Joe Classified, which is,
He
butterfly,
has
stuff?
all the.
Got boot.
He has
Nice.
boot.
It's got the better hips.
Better hips. He's
Nice.
got he's got the double swivel. Like he's got the
Swivel there, and then at the glove. Awesome.
and at the bottom of the glove. This piece is loose, so you can move it out of the way for stuff. His belt is a separate piece from the upper web gear, which is cool.
That's nice.
Does that harness get in the... Oh, geez.
No.
It doesn't.
It gets in a way. These two pouches get in a little way of his ab crunch forward, but he can go crazy back and such.
Sure.
But that doesn't really matter because he also has the waist rocker. So so he is wonderful to play with, super fun. And speaking of fun, he showed up on Monday. He showed up on Sunday. He showed up on Tuesday. So he was my guy, my toy to play with for the last 2 days until this guy showed up, and then I forgot I had him.
This is a more classic Storm Shadow.
This is 100% the more classic Storm Shadow. Wilson also bought the pretty terrible Amazon exclusive Storm Shadow.
So this is the right outfit, the right color.
Yes.
Looks great.
And he also has a crazy pissed off. Like, if you remember that the mask, the picture on the toy, the original toy, That is his angry face. Like, he is a pissed off man.
That's Dragon Ball level intense.
Right. And he does have his little Cobra symbol. So this is evil Storm Shadow. He's got some ninja stars on his belt, bandolier, whatever. His buckle is painted. And he has gray accent wraps on each wrist. And his wraps have a nice, I don't know what you want to call them, frosted, weathered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's minimal paint, but they did make an effort where it is applied.
I like the fact that he has the little ninja toe shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I don't necessarily like, but don't mind because it hasn't been an issue, is that his feet are not flat.
I just noticed that. It's a little weird.
He hasn't had too many problems standing, but
How does that prevent him from doing the ever infamous and popular 1 foot test that we don't do that often anymore?
Probably not, because I just can't do it.
And a weak ankle?
Nope. And then, because he's an archer, he's got the 2 non-gloved fingers and 2 gloved fingers in that hand, which
Wasn't there.
is part of my one complaint that we'll get to. But otherwise, yeah, he's got sculpting all over the place and minimal paint, but it works. The one thing I want to point out, which terrified me when I first saw him in package, a judo kick. You can do it. I believe in you. Oh, action pose. So his belt is also a separate section, and it's in package it was up like this. So I was like, what the hell, that looks terrible, but it is movable, so you can adjust it and put it where it needs to go.
Sweet.
It can also spin around if you want to have the long in the front.
Well, it looks like there's a ball peg on there.
There is a ball peg. Dun dun dun.
For attachments?
For attachments. He also has the standard Joe articulation, but he gets crazy ab crunch due to not having anything in the way, and crazy back.
Ouch.
Let's go. And for those counting at home, he has up and down wrists. So does he.
For accessories?
For accessories. So, the first accessory that I'll point out besides his bandolier and his belt is he has this loose hood piece.
Removable?
That is removable. If you want to go for an even more classic look. Because this is, if you had flush hands, that would be as close as you can get, except for these arm guards. But you can take this off. Speaking of that, he comes with a hood. So if you like that hooded look,
You know I do.
it goes on. My one issue with it is that while it looks awesome, it doesn't always look awesome, and if you mess around with him, he tends to lose his face. So it's kind of, but it does work. It is a nice sculpt. The colors match, and yeah. So he has that, and then as you mentioned, he comes with his belt tails, for lack of a better term, and those plug on there, so they're actually articulated.
Nice.
So you can have blowing in wind action.
Cool.
And you can, as I mentioned, you can bring that around so he has it in the front so that it makes him even more, ninja-y, I guess.
Sure.
That's a term we can use. And then he comes with his backpack, which has the Rishikage symbol decked out in red. Got some red on his arrows. And there's a peg, or there's a hole, peg. So you can lock that all down so he has his backpack. So you can do that. And then what good of a ninja would be if he didn't come with his katana. It is more of a modern Storm Shadow katana where it has a snake head on the handle. It's got some weird stuff on it, but decent enough sculpt. He can hold it, and as with the original Storm Shadow, shing, can store it on his backpack. And then, as with the original Storm Shadow, he has a shorter katana or a different sword. I don't know what the proper name is. Again, has the Cobra head on it, and that can also go wang. So now you got your Cobra look, and then you're like, hey, he's got a bow and arrow. Here's the bow. It has red accent on the paint. He can also hold it as well, and there's a little notch there, and you can line that up and go boop.
Yeah, that's impressive.
And hold his bow on there as well. And because Hasbro likes to be Hasbro, they gave you one loose arrow that, unlike Arctic Storm Shadow, is not a giant missile but an actual in-scale arrow. The feathers are painted red again. And this is where they went the extra mile. Not only can you look right there and you can clip the arrow on so he can hold the arrow or pose it with the arrow on the bow. Ding ding. You can do that. They also gave you, in a tribute to the old original one, you can slide it in there and it disappears pretty much.
That's great. That's awesome.
It will not fall out too much. I've lost it a couple times, but if you push it down in there far enough, it kind of wedges itself in there. So there you go. He can stow all his weapons, and except for this, but I don't know why you would have both of them, but you could. I'm not going to.
Sure, yeah.
The only thing he doesn't have is his nunchucks, which makes me sad, but... And the only other thing I would have wanted, spoilers, is I want a non-arrow hand. Because it looks right most of the time, but otherwise it looks like he's holding an arrow. And Alright, so then we got the officer, and he's like, hey man, I can kick that dude's ass, because I come with tons of crap. He comes with his Cobra helmet, which also has a silver
Chevron.
And that sticks on and looks pretty damn awesome. Doesn't look giant or anything. He also comes with a backpack, which again just plugs into his back. And then he comes with black knife with silver blade, and he has a working holster, so he can put it, or sheath, I guess is the proper term for a bladed weapon.
I believe. Yeah.
So he can hold that, and then he comes with this crazy, I don't know.
Some kind of like extended pistol or something. I don't know.
Yep, it looks similar to the original Cobra Commander gun. It has a little notch in here, and you can put in
nice ammo clip.
He has a pouch in the back of his belt so he can hold
Oh, that's so awesome.
Nice.
his ammo. And then he comes with what I want to call Han Solo gun, because it looks like a Han Solo gun to me. And he can hold that. But he can also stow this on his belt in its gun holster. So he can hold that there. And just to show you, he can hold it totally fine, as with almost all Joes. And then he comes with his rifle, which again has all kinds of detail and
actually painted, huh?
Actually has a brown
stock.
Yeah.
It's again minimal, but it works.
It works. And this one also has ammo.
Insert it. There you go.
So you can put the ammo on there. So he can do that. And then it also comes with, I believe this is a flashlight attachment.
Hmm.
There is a notch.
Or is it a scope?
Well,
Seems far back for a scope.
it goes up in the front of the gun.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I see. Okay.
I would think
that's a flashlight.
Flashlight attachment.
Yeah.
So he can shoot you better. And then you can take that off. And this also has storage on the back of his belt. You just gotta get it going the right way. Which, boom, so he can store it on that. And then this one, if you take the ammo out, slides right in to his backpack. So if you then put this ammo and this gun in this hand,
It's got everything.
he can also stow all his weapons on his person.
Nice.
That's a big thing for me. That is a big selling point.
So there you go.
So we mentioned Valiverse near the beginning of this video. We do have one of them here, along with Cobra Commander down at the end. So, just like all G.I. Joe Classified, they go together.
Yep. And here's your new leader of Cobra, Captain America.
But I do feel like the gap is lessening.
Yeah, on these guys at least. Like that bat still hurts, but
Over time.
I'm so glad they got away from Fortnite.
Oh, you mean the style?
Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I know exactly what you're gonna do. I'm gonna just.
Oh,
that's
great.
Love it. I'm gonna go ahead and give the officer a 4.5 and give Storm Shadow a 4. I think they're both really, really impressive. Just with storing all the accessories on the guy, that's always a big plus for me because I don't like stuff having to sit around in a box or something. And then you forget where it is, and you forget about it, and never end up using it.
Yeah.
You know? So,
Sucks.
So yeah, and they're well painted. It's just still hard to stand them next to, what is it, the Valiverse guys, the Action Force
Action
stuff.
Force.
Yeah, because those guys are really, really good.
Oh! That's my fault.
And I'm gonna end it there.
They would have stayed. I meant to ask this earlier, but what's the price on these things?
25?
Is that the new classified price?
Yes.
Or relatively new?
Yes.
I think you're probably getting $25 worth of sculpt and paint on the officer, but because so much of Storm Shadow is solid white, you're maybe, I don't know. I feel like he should be lower priced, even though that doesn't make any sense for a mass market toy. But I do feel like Storm Shadow is slightly overpriced. And I'm going to give them, I think we're going to echo Wilson and say 4.5 for the officer, 4 for Storm Shadow. There's something about just the all-white suit that I find less impressive than the sculpted detail and the, this is important to me, color breakup that's on the officer. So Storm Shadow is, he's great for Storm Shadow fans, but I'm not as impressed as an outsider to G.I. Joe.
Oh. Okay. I'm going to give Cobra Officer a 5, and I'm going to give Storm Shadow a 4.5. If you collect G.I. Joe Classified, you need both of these guys. I would just get a Cobra Officer just to have in your Marvel Legends display if you don't get G.I. Joe guys, because he's that good. I can, with the exception of having one more hand and his nunchucks, I can't imagine getting a better Storm Shadow at this point. He's everything I wanted. He's great. I love their articulation scheme, and I love the fact that he's got all his stuff and you can stow it on him. And yay, Storm Shadow.
It's hard not to want to troop builds, the soldier and the trooper. Like,
yes,
they're so awesome.
Because you only need one officer, right?
Well, maybe for each platoon.
There you go. But yeah, I super recommend these guys if you like G.I. Joe at all. And the fact that, like, I would say this is like as close to the definitive look of Storm Shadow as you can get.
Likely, yeah.
So And he's 1,000 times better than the piece of crap Amazon exclusive one.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Just that thing was hot garbage. I'm so glad I ordered these from Hasbro Pulse ahead of time because I'm crazy. But I did. I couldn't wait. I was terrified that they wouldn't.
So these aren't Pulse exclusive.
No, they were announced and they went up for order on Hasbro Pulse like maybe hours before they were available everywhere else. But this was back when am I going to be able to get these guys? Because G.I. Joe Classified are so hard to get sometimes. They're so easy.
Yeah.
And so I ordered them right away to make sure I got them. And Spirit is in that wave, so Spirit will be here soon. Sniper Spirit.
Nice.
But yeah, buy these toys. They're great. Don't film videos with Wilson because he likes to make loud noises behind you all the time.
God damn.
I get bored, man. I'm sorry.
Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment. Tell us how much your friend makes noise when you're doing fun stuff. And, or is he an acquaintance at this point? I don't know. There you go.